The Jimmy Z Show.
All right, anybody who's considering seeing this film about the dolphin, I wasn't going to see it anyway. I know it's based on a true story, but it just seems a little schmaltzy for me. But it's the movie about the dolphin that needs a tail. They put the tail on there. And Morgan Freeman is in the movie. I am telling you right now, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I hesitated there because I was trying to decide. I am not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I am never seeing another film with Morgan Freeman ever again. All right? Period. If a Morgan Freeman film comes on TV, I'm turning the channel. No DVD movies with Morgan Freeman. And this is really tough because a great example of a Morgan Freeman film I love is the one with Jim Carrey. The movie is Bruce Almighty. I love that movie. I'm never watching it again. Morgan Freeman can kiss my ass.
Has Obama helped the process of eradicating racism, or has it in a strange way made it worse?
Made it worse. Look at the Tea Partiers who are controlling the Republican Party stated, and what's this guy's name? Mitch McConnell. Is that his name, O'Connell?
Yeah. Mitch McConnell, yeah.
Mitch McConnell. Their stated policy, publicly stated, is to do whatever it takes to see to it that Obama only serves one term. What is that? What underlines that? Screw the country. We're going to do whatever we do to get this black man. We're going to do whatever we can to get this black man out of here.
But is that necessarily a racist thing?
It is a racist thing.
Is it not just Republicans? Wouldn't they say that about any Democrat?
No, because they would have gotten rid of Bill Clinton if they could have.
But they tried.
They did try, but still. I don't. They're not going to get rid of Obama either. I think they're shooting themselves in the head.
Does it unnerve you that the Tea Party are gaining such traction?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Well, it just shows the weak, dark underside of America. We're supposed to be better than that. We really are. That's why all those people were in tears when Obama was elected president. Look at what we are. Look at how this is America, you know? And then it just sort of started turning because these people's surface is like stirring up muddy water.
Okay, this makes me so angry. So angry. Not because I can't go see Morgan Freeman films anymore. I can live without that. It makes me angry because he is such a liar. He's lying. He knows better. Morgan Freeman is not a stupid man. I've heard him in a number of interviews. He's very well spoken, very well read. This man's not stupid. So he knows better. He's lying outright. So logically, you have to ask the question, why is he doing this? Why is he saying something that is so preposterously and demonstrably untrue? And by the way, I'm not, generally speaking, a Tea Party member because I don't like some of the things that the Tea Party does, but they're not racist. They're against Obama. Mitch McConnell is against Obama and wants Obama out of here because he's destroying the country. But of course, once again, here we have somebody who has an actor in Hollywood who has more money than God, unbelievably filthy rich. And so he's unaffected by the Obama economy. He's still got all his money. He's still making S-loads of money. I won't go see another one of Morgan Freeman's films ever. Ever. If I'm in a restaurant up in Los Angeles and I find out that Morgan Freeman is there, I'm going to tell the manager, I have to leave. I'm not going to eat in the same room that Morgan Freeman is in, and I'm going to walk past his table and tell him he can kiss my ass. Of all the things that black people, liberal black people, accuse conservatives and Republicans of, and we talk about this on a regular basis on the show, of all those times that the Tea Party and conservatism has been accused of being racist, this is the nastiest. Because Morgan Freeman is a respected man. Up until I heard this on Friday, I think it was, I've had a fair amount of respect for Morgan Freeman, both as an actor and as a thinker. We've played this piece of tape multiple times on the show. Morgan Freeman on 60 Minutes a number of years ago talking about Black History Month.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You want to say, well, I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that was a very thoughtful dialogue. And especially this part.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
All right. Who doesn't agree with that? That's the reason I played that piece of audio on a regular basis on this show. During breaks and when racial issues come up, that's a great piece of reference audio. I can't use it anymore because now this jackass is talking like a full-blown liberal African-American man. Like he's a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, for God's sake. This is genuinely hateful, what he says here.
The Tea Partiers, who are controlling the Republican Party, their stated policy, publicly stated, is to do whatever it takes to see to it that Obama only serves one term.
Okay, so what? That's politics. How many times did liberals say that George Bush should only be a one-term president? So what? That doesn't make it racist. The only thing that makes any of this about race is the fact that African Americans in this country are focused on his skin tone. They won't even criticize him because he's black. The black community suffers in this country because of Obama's policies. Obama is directly responsible for what is happening to the black community in terms of the economy, joblessness, all of it. That's Obama. But black actors, black politicians, black pundits, we've been documenting it right here on the show. They will not criticize Obama because they would rather have a black man in the White House doing a job than to have a white man doing a great job and making life better for African Americans in the United States. That is racism. The Tea Party is not racist. By and large, the vast majority of people who identify themselves as Tea Partiers are not racist. Morgan Freeman, he's a racist. He's playing the race card, and I'm going to tell you why. I figured it out yesterday. I'm going to tell you why this guy...
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
Became this guy.
Screw the country. We're going to do whatever we do to get this black man we're going to do whatever we can to get this black man out of here.
But is that necessarily a racist thing?
It is a racist thing.
Okay? But I'm going to get another cup of coffee, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got my cup of coffee. It is the official drink of the Jimmy Z Show. Sponsored by coffee. Well, brought to you by coffee. Definitely that. Without coffee, there would be no show. I'm telling you, that is a fact of life. By the way, the Jimmy Z Weekend Special is commercial free. Okay, I'm just about to tell you why this Morgan Freeman...
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
...has become this racist Morgan Freeman.
Screw the country. We're going to do whatever we do to get this black man... We're going to do whatever we can to get this black man out of here.
But is that necessarily a racist thing?
It is a racist thing.
Amazing, isn't it? Sad, pathetic, ignorant, moronic, racist. But that's what happens. Morgan Freeman has been in Hollywood long enough now. I'm sure some black actors and black activists in Hollywood got together with him and told him, look, we need you to start spouting this racist bullcrap too. Now, I'm not saying that Morgan Freeman was a conservative at any given point. He probably did vote for Obama, but I'm thinking that since Morgan Freeman was, up to a certain point in time, kind of moderate and independent and, you know, maybe a conservative-leaning Democrat, who knows? But he was obviously thinking with a clear head when he said this.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
But something changed. And I can tell you what it is. I think we can assume from this kind of crap that he's saying now.
Screw the country. We're going to do whatever we do to get this black man. We're going to do whatever we can to get this black man out of here.
But is that necessarily a racist thing?
It is a racist thing.
All right. So he probably voted for Barack Obama like Bill Cosby did because it was his chance to vote for a black man. He wanted to see a black man in the White House. That was very important. To most African Americans, it was what, 95, 96% of African Americans voted for Barack Obama. They wanted to see the black man. He talked about people who were crying. That's important to him. Now, you and I know why that's important. The black man in America has a history here that is not all that great. Slavery is a terrible mark on this country's history. And so this was the turning point. We have finally gotten to a point in this country as the black community where we can elect a black man president. And we know now, after listening to black politicians and black pundits and black actors, that it doesn't matter at all if the first black president does a great job or a good job or a mediocre job or a piss-poor job. He's the first black president, and we need to keep him around for another 4 freaking years. Because the last thing these people want to do, it's not about having another white president. You might think that this is about taking a step backwards, and we got the first black president, and we don't want to see him go away. We don't want to see him replaced by another white president. It's not that superficial. It goes deeper than that. People like Morgan Freeman and people like members of the Congressional Black Caucus need President Obama to serve another 4 years. They need him to be reelected because that would affirm that the country has faith in the first black president of the United States. That would mean that Obama is not a failure. Because it doesn't matter how bad the situation is, If the country votes for Obama and trusts him with another 4 years, that means he was not a failure in the first 4 years, in the eyes of the American voters. But if Obama is defeated, people like Morgan Freeman, and this is why he's so desperate, people like Morgan Freeman will have to admit that the first black president was a bust. The first black president failed. The first black president was one of the crummiest presidents we ever had. Not because he's black, but because he's a socialist. Now, you and I know that, but it's going to be up to black actors, black politicians, and black pundits, and all the liberals in the Democrat Party to convince Americans that they must vote for Barack Obama, otherwise they are racist. That's the bottom line. That's the argument, the ultimate argument that Morgan Freeman is making. This is not about the Tea Party being racist. Morgan Freeman knows better. This is about an ongoing campaign from now until Election Day to convince the American voters that they are racist if they don't vote for the black man. That's it. In a nutshell, that's what's happening here. Now, why are they stooping to this level of making the entire campaign to reelect Barack Obama about race? Why are they depending on the race card? I can answer that question too. Obama has nothing else to run on. Nothing. He's an abject failure across the board. Everything he's done has been bad for America. All of the words that have come out of his mouth in speeches all around the world have been bad for America. His socialist domestic agenda has been a total failure, entirely and completely bad for America. Obamacare, bad for America. Homosexuals out in the military, the end of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, bad for America. His economic policies and Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner, bad for America. Stimulus plan after stimulus plan after stimulus plan, bad for America. I can go on and on. You can list everything Obama has done. It's been bad for America. And in the black community, it's been worse. But you see, it doesn't matter. Because African Americans in the United States do not want history to show that Barack Obama, the first black president in America's history, was a crummy president. He was awful. He did a terrible job and left the country much worse off than it was bad enough when he took office. This is too important for African Americans to admit defeat and allow the history books to show that Barack Obama was one of the worst presidents that the country had ever seen. And they're not going to say it out loud, but they realize, they know Obama sucks. They know it. What they're hoping is, if Obama gets another 4 years, he might get better at the job and not suck quite as bad. And then he wouldn't be, at the end of 8 years, he might not be one of the worst presidents in American history. So their only choice, from the perspective of African Americans in the U.S. who voted for Obama, which is 95% of them, is to throw the race card like Morgan Freeman.
Has Obama helped the process of eradicating racism, or has it in a strange way made it worse?
Made it worse. Made it worse. Look. The Tea Partiers who are controlling the Republican Party their stated policy, publicly stated, is to do whatever it takes to see to it that Obama only serves one term. What is that? What underlines that? Screw the country. We're going to do whatever we do to get this black man. We're going to do whatever we can to get this black man out of here.
But is that necessarily a racist thing?
It is a racist thing.
Is it not just Republicans? Wouldn't they say that about any Democrat?
No, because they would have gotten rid of Bill Clinton if they could have.
But they tried.
They did try, but still. I don't. They're not going to get rid of Obama either. I think they're shooting themselves in the head.
Does it unnerve you that the Tea Party are gaining such traction?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Well, it just shows the weak, dark underside of America. We're supposed to be better than that. We really are. That's why all those people were in tears when Obama was elected president. Look at what we are. Look at how this is America, you know? And then it just sort of started turning because these people's surfaces like stirring up muddy water.
Mr. Freeman, we are still America. The Republican Party has Herman Cain running for president. He's a very smart black man. He's a successful businessman. He is not an Uncle Tom. He has his own ideas. He brings those ideas to the table and explains them eloquently. You are not ever going to see Morgan Freeman talk about Herman Cain at all. He's not going to say anything bad about him. He's not going to say anything good. He's not going to talk about Herman Cain. He's not going to talk about Allen West. Because, you see, Republicans don't like black people. Conservatives and Republicans are racist. The only reason there are a few black conservatives is because they're Uncle Toms. They're doing what the white master tells them to do. So now you understand why Morgan Freeman said what he did. It doesn't make it any better, but it is what it is. And this is the campaign you're going to see. The Barack Obama campaign for re-election in 2012 is going to be essentially vote for Obama, because if you don't, you're a racist. And the reason you're going to hear this many times between now and Election Day is because Obama has nothing else to run on. Can you imagine Obama saying, "Oh, look at my record"? It's not going to happen. So you better vote for Obama. Otherwise, you hate black people.
The Jimmy Z